Emotionally immature individuals tend to operate with a self centered worldview because their inner world is unregulated and controlling their existence. Immaturity interprets the external world through a very personal lens. Events, interactions, and neutral comments are filtered through emotions, insecurities, and assumptions instead of assessed on their own terms. Neutral comments or behaviors, a passing glance, or unrelated actions are seldom taken at face value. Instead, everything is interpreted as being about them. A simple remark becomes a critique. A lack of response is rejection. An unclear situation becomes a hidden agenda. When someone lacks emotional regulation, neutrality feels unnatural. So everything must have a meaning, and that meaning is usually them. Emotionally immature individuals tend to project their own views and feelings onto others. They assume that everyone thinks and operates like they do. If they are motivated by insecurity, they assume others are insecure. If they're prone to judgment, they assume that everyone is judging them. If they're constantly lying or don't really say what they mean, they assume that no one else tells the truth either. They do not perceive others as separate individuals with their own inner world. Everything here is for them or about them. Other people become mirrors reflecting back their own fears, desires, and behaviors. A defining feature of emotional immaturity is an inability to differentiate internal feelings from external reality. A feeling of discomfort is evidence that something is wrong externally. If you tell them that nothing is wrong, they may assume that you are lying and have a hidden agenda. If they feel excluded, they assume they were intentionally left out. If they feel criticized, they assume that they are being criticized or attacked. This creates a loop where the emotions reinforce themselves. There is little space for alternative perspectives or comprehending explanations because their emotional experience is treated as proof, which often makes them wildly incorrect about situations because emotions are often irrelevant. Facts don't care about feelings. The self centered lens limits empathy. Empathy is recognizing that other people have thoughts, feelings, motivations, and perspectives that have nothing to do with anyone else. Emotionally immature individuals struggle with this separation because they are so focused on how situations affect them. They often overlook other people's feelings and misinterpret intentions. What is a neutral action is rewritten as something personal, which can lead to misunderstanding and conflict. Control plays a role. When someone thinks that everything is about them, it creates an illusion of predictability. If every action has personal meaning, it makes the world more explainable, even if those explanations are incorrect. Letting go of that framework requires accepting that many things are not about them at all and that people act based on their own internal emotions and processes, not in response to or in consideration of them. For the emotionally immature individual, the not being central can be very destabilizing. Misinterpretations can lead to reactions that cause tension or conflict, which appears to confirm to the immature individual that others are critical or hostile. They rarely see their role in creating the outcome because their focus remains externalized. It's always someone else's fault. They never put it together that it is their behavior that continually causes the most problems. The cycle repeats, and their self centered worldview can strengthen. The fundamental issue is a lack of separation between the self and others, and this causes a distorted perception. The world is no longer experienced as a shared space of individuals, but as a stage where everything is interpreted based on their internal state. Unless emotional regulation and self awareness develop, accurate social perception remains limited, and the individual remains confined within their own projections. In my observation, it is a sad and crippling mental prison to live in. Have a good day.